Hey guys, today I'm looking at LA Noire. I remember I tried this or played this back in the day. I remember it was just a massive, massive game in terms of file size. On the 360, this came with 3 separate discs, which was like insane at the time. Max, you saw 2 discs, rarely, on that generation of consoles, but it had 3. And because the game was using real like face tracking technology, it was just a behemoth of file size. And so, how do I feel about LA Noire? I don't feel really great about it, mainly because it kind of marketed itself as kind of an open world Grand Theft Auto game. But if you ever deviated from essentially the path that was provided for you, then you really couldn't complete the mission. So it was a bunch of sort of mission-based games or story-based mission games that were in the tight confines of a very specific area. And so the whole overworld still functioned, you just couldn't access it most of the time. And the big thing that LA Noire did was, when you would interview people, you could have, a truth, doubt, or the other one. So you always had about roughly 3 different options that you could choose from, whether someone is lying or not. And the whole point is that with the face scanning technology is that you can read them and tell what their expression is and whether or not they're telling you the truth or not. I personally was pretty bad at this. I could actually not tell the facial expressions very well at all. And so I just kind of would randomly guess a lot of the time. I got a little bit better at it. But for the most part, the game itself feels more like a tech demo that was very bloated and very experimental, and not really, I don't want to say, it wasn't really ahead of its time. It was very experimental, but I don't think anything really was adopted from this. It's also interesting because I think about, games like Half-Life 2, where the facial expressions of the characters are extremely animated and extremely intense in a certain way. They're all very much, like I think that was ahead of the time. And now finally they have this, game where, they make a big deal of it. And go around, asking people, confronting them for their political beliefs, etc. And it takes place in the 40s. So, and of course in LA. And so it's just a detective game. So they had this idea for like a hard-boiled detective that Rockstar wanted to do. And so this was the result basically. So there are of course other things beside, fighting with the characters, questioning the characters. There's also firefights, racing, all the kind of staples of, a GTA game just set in this certain time period and with the added focus and effect of the actual interrogations. But frankly, after a few of them, I got very kind of tired of it. It was very tiresome, and then it felt kind of repetitive. I mean, each crime scene had a new set of clues and things to investigate, but it was very ambitious, very cool for the time. But honestly, looking back on it at this vantage point, it just wasn't super impressive, and it didn't super grip me. The main character wasn't super interesting. They tried to do this whole backstory where he was in the Korean War, World War II, and that he has some like tragic backstory that he's trying to deal with, and he's trying to like move on from that. But again, if anything, it felt like it was trying to be more and more cinematic. It's trying to like, I don't know, have a Mad Men kind of vibe. And I frankly just did not care. I just did not care about this game, the characters, the setting, the mechanics. Everything was, again, not scripted, but like scoped into certain points. You couldn't like leave and do other activities. It was very linear. And when you're super linear and you're story focused, you need to have a good story. And they simply did not have that. So, for a series of other reasons or, whatever, I did not enjoy this game. LA Noire, again, experimental, but nothing about it really filled me with awe or inspiration or intrigue. It was very, if anything, it was good for memes, but it's kind of a forgotten relic at this point. I really don't have much else to say about it, honestly, because of that, and I'll end it here. See you guys. Bye.